Do you feel the pulse?
GNT right back at it one more time. Welcome back, people. Welcome back. Your captain is in the house. We have a nice episode for you. We can't wait to get started. So why even wait any further? Let's go. All right, welcome back, peoples. We have a lot to talk about, but I can't just talk about everything we want to talk about today by myself. Who else is on the panel with me? Oh, Bird Gang in the building.
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? You already know what it is, GNT Sportstalk, and it's episode 102. Let's get it.
Man, 102. We have officially crossed over the 100 barrier, and now we're approaching 110 already. It's kind of crazy how fast things happen and progression. And episode 100 at Dimensions, and now it's already 2 weeks in. That means we're 2 weeks into the NFL season. That means we're 2 weeks further along with other things that happen. So, Joel, we got a lot to talk about tonight, bro.
Yes, we do, and I can't wait, man. I mean, we were talking about it behind the scenes, just a few different things that we want to bring to the table and see if you guys agree with us or want to debate things or anything like that. So let's get it.
Hey, look, I think it's only fair, right, to go ahead and talk about the biggest surprises that happened the last week, especially in the NFL. Now, we're going to talk about other things, but the NFL definitely has our attention. This week, too, well, this season's just been kind of weird in its own little way, you know what I mean? So instead of talking about the positives, let's go negatives. Let's 5 negative surprises so far in this NFL season.
I was going to say KC, but thinking back, they had 2 obviously playoff contenders. I mean, obviously us being the Super Bowl champions, and then the first game with the LA Chargers, where those are 2 tough teams. So I would say I don't want to say I am surprised because of the fact that I'm not, because of those are 2 strong teams. And then on top of it, you have, listen, man, this team has their top receiver that's been suspended, and then Xavier Worthy just got hurt. So they don't have any weapons. So that's the reason why I'm not surprised. And I'm not trying to say they're a bad team or not a bad team or anything like that. I think the book is out. It's still too early to cancel out a team like KC. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Well, I definitely agree, but I'm not too surprised by the beginnings of a slump, because there's not a team that lost in the Super Bowl that did not have a rough year afterwards. I mean,
right.
Us as Philadelphia fans, we know that firsthand, because as soon as the Eagles lost
to KC, we went on that little it was like Nick Sirianni was getting fired, and all the coaches was getting fired. It was like a whole meltdown in that 1 year.
Yeah, everybody and everything sucked, or everything happened at the wrong times, and people getting hurt at the weirdest times. So we understand personally, as a Philadelphia fan, we understand what it's like to have a bad year after you lose the Super Bowl. But think about it. San Fran lost the Super Bowl to KC the following year. What was San Fran's team like? You know what I mean? So, it's just, you see constant reminders of teams
and
patterns, right? Teams that lose in the Super Bowl and then things happening,
right. But I think a lot of that too is because of the attrition, though. Like you got a lot of people that show up to the Super Bowl, and then you got a lot of people that lost the Super Bowl, and then they're on their contract year or something like that. Then they go chase the bag. You know what I mean? So I think that contributes a lot to it, but I agree. Like that's definitely a trend where that losing Super Bowl team doesn't, play well the following year.
Well, the one thing that's always consistent is our Instagram family. I just want to say what's up to all of y'all.
What's going
Little
on,
Mary,
everybody?
see you, mama.
What up,
6
cuzzo?
Amazon Beauty, aka Shanika. It's good to see you, my dear.
Yo, Nee.
I need to clear my voice. Kane Digital is in the building.
Yo, 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 yo.
And again, appreciate you joining us. Appreciate all y'all guys for joining us on this lovely Wednesday evening as we talk sports with your boys. Now, my next biggest surprise, these people getting hurt already.
Yeah, Joe Burrow. We got a lot of injuries. Daniels is on there. The rookie got hurt. It's starting to pile up. But this is the reason why we talked about this before, where we say, like, these guys need to have some type of preseason action because
Right.
of the fact that, you know what I mean? I get that you're trying to rest them and you're not trying to hurt them, but I think this is like, the opposite side of it, where, guys is cramping up a lot easier and,
Mhm.
you just got a lot of things. Khalil Mack breaking his arm. I don't think, contributing to playing or not playing in the preseason does affect that. I just feel like there's a lot of like people that are just not right.
Right. And especially, there's some names you just don't want to see on that IR list. You know what I mean? No, I'm sorry. There's like Joe Burrow. You don't want to see him on that injured list. Especially with that team going
Especially,
so well
so here's the surprise for you. A pot, what you got? Negative surprises right now.
right
So it's
now.
not a negative. Well, it is a negative surprise. Negative that he got hurt,
Right.
and is a negative being as though that Cincinnati is traditionally a team that starts off 0-2
Mm-hmm.
or 1-3, or something to that effect. And they're 2-0 right now, and your quarterback just got hurt. So that is a negative surprise due to the fact that he's hurt, but more so that the team did start off with a 2-0 versus they traditionally start off at an 0-2 on an 0-2.
Right. Another player that got injured that I'm quite surprised by, and I can just say this with this negative. Carson Wentz will be starting this week for Minnesota.
Well, I mean, we were talking about it today at work. I mean, this is probably the best team he's been around.
Ooh, that's a
Think
good way
about
to
it.
do it.
Think about it. Like, we were talking about it today at work, and we're like, hold up. Jordan, I know what your call got hurt, but Jordan Mason's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got one of the best receivers. Like, he's never really had that. So, I mean, I think, like we talked about at work today, like, I just think this is going to be like his last real opportunity right now. He has a good solid 3 to 4 weeks with the injury that, this guy ended up JJ ended up, occurring. But I mean, this dude like has a good opportunity in front of him.
Yo, they literally said last week, if all y'all remember, after his dismal first quarter, JJ had a McCarthy had a absolutely horrible first half, and middle of the third quarter was terrible. But he kind of showed up like crazy at the end of that game, and they're like, "Yo, he finally figured it out. He got it. He's stepping up more now. Like, look for this guy because he had it when he was in college, and now look at him, blah 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 blah." And then snap of a finger, gone. Look at this. Will.
Yo, you got Justin Jefferson.
Yo, the crazy thing is
TJ
that
Hawkinson, he has some weapons over there, man. I won't be surprised.
now here's the thing, right? Another, I guess, not part of this is like 5 negatives, but a negative when it comes to the guy that we just got finished talking about. He started off bad, ended up being good. Now he's hurt. I'm sorry. his head coach was, coach of the year because he's a quarterback whisperer.
All right.
Look what he did with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but Darnold's not doing that over there now.
Not at all.
Like, I mean, they won like this past week. They beat Pittsburgh too, by the way, which ruined all of my parlays because dude, that was the worst. You just struck a nerve. That was the worst. Bro, I was telling my son, me and him, I was like, I don't understand. You have this team crossing all across the U.S. from the West Coast to the East Coast, opening game for the Pittsburgh Steelers at home after Aaron Rodgers just lit it the hell up. You let this team come from the West Coast and do that to you? Oh, dude, I'm looking at trying to put together a bet and all that stuff, and I'm like, all right, there's no way Seattle's going with Sam Darnold. The way they played the previous week, traveling all the way to Pittsburgh home opener, Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers, plus DK Metcalf is playing his team. Oh,
Yes.
hell no. This is a lock. This is a lot. And Larry, you just struck a nerve. But I regress.
Yeah, good.
Regress.
Yeah, just like your pay that week, it regressed.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, dude, man, I was so pissed about that game.
No,
I hit like 7 out of 9, and that was one of the ones that I missed. I don't even want to know what was the other one because that game pissed me off too. I'm sure it's gonna pop up, but
okay, we're not going to.
We'll get away from that. We'll get away from that.
About no more. But if he is talking about Minnesota's head coach, if he is the quarterback whisperer that we think that he is and that he was before, it could very well be Carson Wentz actually performing very well on that team with, like you said, with those weapons. I mean, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. All right. I'm going to step outside of football just for a second for another negative. The Mets.
No. What you mean a negative?
No, it's a positive for us.
Where do you think we doing this show out of, bro? What are you thinking? That is not no negative. That is a positive.
Look, it's a major positive. But I'm saying that's a negative when it comes to just the sport, just the downfall of the New York Mets.
It is not a negative. That is not a negative. Dude, look, yo, I don't even want to talk about this topic. This is like, I don't want to talk. No. I'm sorry, bro. Next surprise.
Next surprise.
Because that was surprised that you brought that shit up, bro. I mean, what the hell are you talking about the Mets? That's a negative. Negative surprises. Hell no.
It's a positive for us Phillies fans, but I mean, I can imagine, like, that's a negative. Okay, anyway, go ahead, bro.
Larry, I'm not wasting my damn time on that damn topic, bro. No, we're not doing that.
All right. Your last negative, bro. It's on you.
Negative? I mean, I don't really have too many negatives, man. I mean,
positive, Cap. I feel you.
I'm just trying to see because I'm looking at all the 0-2 teams. I jotted them down. You got New Orleans, Carolina, Chicago. They got a lot going on. Both New York teams, Kansas City. Houston's one that might be a negative there where I think there's going to be a lot of change. And I know that team has, been, the last 2 years been caught with the injury bug, but I think something has to change there. But out of all the 0-2 teams, bro, that something is very negative and something needs to happen soon, and I kind of foresee something happening soon, is in Miami, bro.
Yeah.
That team has tried to acquire free agents. They lucked up into some players. They made some trades, and this team just can't figure it out. And I think the coach, before McDaniels is like the next hot thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And this team right now they're in trouble, man. They started off 0-2. They had a little better effort last week, but I think if they 1-4 or something like that, there's going to be a drastic change, or they're going to be trying to trade, Tyreek Hill or something.
Yeah, he's the player that has the most amount of, I would say, capital when it comes to moving out. I mean, that's what happens when you pay $200 and some $1 million, man.
Right, and that's the thing, man. Like I was thinking about this already into the season, and it's actually going to be. I mean, if you want to do it now, we could the GNT generating new topics part.
We could do it right now.
All right, cool. So this week on generating new topics, we want to ask you guys, which I'm going to ask Larry right now, so we'll get his reaction. Is what teams do you think in the first 2 weeks are in or out of the playoffs? So I could go division by division if you would like me to, but there's 14 teams, and I try to do this already, and it's already. Well, let's do this. Since generating new topic, which teams already you can see that aren't playoff contenders? Because that's probably going to be easier. So you got the AFC East. You have Buffalo. Obviously, you would say they're in.
Yes.
New England, New York, and the Dolphins.
I would say the Jets. But according to our last conversation, they are out. But
right.
Only because, once again, Justin Fields is now hurt. Once again.
Right.
Another one that's, like out of nowhere, just like injured. But I don't see Miami turning this thing around. So my answer officially would be Miami.
Right. Then you got Cincinnati Bengals that just 2-0, but they lost Burrow. Obviously, the Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Cleveland.
So the normal answer would be Cleveland. But if Joe Burrow is out for like 4 months, it has to be the Bengals.
That they're not going to make it?
Correct.
So you got Baltimore, obviously, winning the division.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And here's the crazy thing. They didn't make the playoffs last year with Burrow.
Right. So that would be 2 years in a row. And paying all those high receivers. And they finally did pay Hendrickson. We'll give him a raise.
We gave him a raise this year. He's still gone.
Right. AFC South, the surprising 2-0 Danny Dimes gets his name back, or Indiana Jones, whatever you want to call him. He's 2-0, leading the division. And then you got Jacksonville, Houston, and the Tennessee Titans.
Jacksonville.
To win or out?
Out.
1-1? Oh.
Out. That's my surprise one right there.
Out. I think a lot of people are going to disagree with you with that one, but all right, cool. AFC West.
Say the Titans. I know everybody's want to say the Titans, but no.
AFC West. The LA Chargers, the Las Vegas Raiders, Denver Broncos, and the 0-2 Kansas City Chiefs.
This one here is going to be Paul's the hardest one. The guy I pick from. And by the way, Tone is actually watching on Instagram. Appreciate you, brother. I know,
Yo, Tone.
I know you couldn't be on screen with us tonight, but we appreciate you tuning in though. So this particular division is going to be tough because you don't want to count out KC. But
this division is crazy because you're 0-2 KC. The Denver Broncos 1-1, the Raiders 1-1, and then 2-0 Chargers. I see all these guys battling up and down. I personally picked the Broncos to win. So but the Chargers look good.
Good, man.
They look like a complete team. They got another year, under that coach's belt. They added some pieces. The only thing that just happened, but he'll be back, is the Khalil Mack injury. But they just look well coached. They look like the only thing that I'm surprised with so far, I thought the running game was going to be a little bit better because he's traditionally a run-first coach. And I'm surprised that they became a passing team. So that's definitely a surprise. But that division is going to be tough. All right, NFC East, you got the Eagles,
Mhm.
the sophomore possible slump going on over at the Commanders,
Yep.
and the Dallas that barely beat the damn Giants. And then you have the Giants.
So here's my question: when it comes to this division, which Giants team do you have? Do you have the scrappy one from last week that's going to try their best to put up 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and be competing into the very, very end with a defense that's going to just collapse? Or week one, where they suck the whole time?
I would say it's probably not the team that played the Dallas Cowboys defense. Let's get that out there because that defense is they ass, bro. There's no way around it. Like I mean, like obviously, with us playing them week one home opener, more like all the reasons in the world to try to give us a good game and beat us, like you know what I mean, with the elements the way being they were. Like I get it, you know what I mean, but dude, like I just think you had Tracy. Yeah, I mean Malik Neighbors first and foremost he's a baller, so
Mhm.
that he like
Yes.
he's crazy. But other than that, like for Russ to do what he did, Tracy back there, and then all the other pieces that are in New York from an offensive standpoint, they do have a good defense. So they just need, and I mean, it wouldn't show that night because they gave up a lot of points as well.
Right.
But I mean, it did go into overtime. But I just think I don't know, man. Like that, I think that the New York Giants is gonna have an up and down type of a season
Hmm.
until they're ready to put dart in. That's what I think.
Yeah. See, I'm on the cusp right now saying that the Cowboys will have a better season than the Giants.
Yeah, absolutely. I will agree with that.
So, with that being said, I would think that Washington, even with a banged up quarterback over there in Washington, I would think that they will have a better season than the Cowboys. So, to answer the question, I'll say the Giants are out, Eagles winning.
All right, cool. You got Green Bay Packers, everybody's new favorite team all of a sudden. But
How
we know
about
who you are because the only Green Bay fan I know is my boy Get At Me Lou. That's my guy. He
it? Yeah.
worked hard, but guess what
Mhm.
happened? When you guys play us, it's going to be a different story. I already texted you that.
Well,
I'm
it's
just
funny
telling the
because
world.
I'm going to tell the world too. He argued with me in week one. I didn't see him in the playoffs. I'm just saying.
All right. So you got the Green Bay Packers, 1-1 Vikings, 1-1 Detroit that put up numbers this past week,
Yes.
and the 0-2 Bears.
Well, first off, it's easy. Bears out of here, and then as soon as next year starts, this is going to be boom or bust year for Williams. Stop painting your nails and start getting back into the book, because right now this is going to be make or break it for him. Next year is make or break it for him. But yeah, Bears out.
All right. NFC South, Tampa Bay Bucks, Atlanta, New Orleans, and Carolina Panthers.
It's a funny because I think the two teams going to be battling for last is going to be Panthers and New Orleans.
Right.
Sad. Oh well, it's going to be New Orleans. I think is going to actually going to be a dumpster fire by the end of the year.
Right. There's just not anything. I mean, they putting up. They not doing nothing. I
They
was
ain't,
trying to clean it up. Just
they ain't doing nothing.
just because of the coach, like ain't nothing going on there. Yeah, because you can see Carolina getting a little bit better than they are now. They got
Mhm.
better running back. Well, I don't want to say Chuba is better than Kamara, but man, who cares? One of them is going to finish last.
Exactly.
All right, so did you know the winningest division right now is the NFC West? 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 1-1. And you talking about San Francisco 49ers, the Cardinals, the Rams, and Seattle. they have the best division right now
Mm-hmm.
in the National Football League. There's not even a division close. It's like 4. They already got 7 wins as a division. That's a surprising thing right there
Heck
for
yeah.
sure. Because I mean, I don't know, man. The Cardinals is funny. They always show some type of glimpse of hope, and then they just fall off on the deep end. Like I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the two teams that I mean, Purdy didn't play last week. That team still found a way to win. I
Right.
think it has to do a lot with the coaching. And then you got the Rams, where I think they're for real. And when we get into the Eagles Rams part of the show, you guys be surprised with what I have to say about the prediction for the game. And then Seattle, they had a bounce back game against a tough team, or you would think a tough team, as I went over during my lock-in parlay of the week with Pittsburgh not showing up. But Seattle played well with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, go figure. So how it looks right now, obviously, there's always going to be one division. There's always going to have at least 2 teams that's going to make it into the playoffs. At least 2 teams in one division. This is the one I think is going to definitely be. It's just a matter of who's going to be those 2 teams. Is it going to be San Fran
And the Rams.
Exactly.
Nah, the Rams.
Rams. Exactly. So with those 2 making it, I will have to say that the team that's out is the team with the quarterback that you don't trust the most. And as much as Sam had magic last year, I don't see any kind of magic being brought over to Seattle. So I see Seattle out. And who's going to win it all? Rams in that division.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, that's
But
this
no
week's
offense, Jamar.
topic.
No offense, Jamar. Jamar is watching this on Instagram.
He's watching right now?
Yeah, he's watching right now. Gigantic 49ers fan. Much respect to you, man, because you always support your squad, and I appreciate you for it. I don't trust that Purdy is going to sustain himself. He's already hurt, so we'll see how soon
Well, it's not only him. It's Kittle. They got
Right.
a lot. Ayuk still not back. Jennings was out. They're facing a lot of injury bugs right now. But they're 2-0, man. So we'll see what they can keep rolling.
Drunk Monk in the building. Appreciate you, man.
Yo. But that was this week's topic for generating new topics. Part of that segment, with picking out the teams that Larry and I thought will be completely out of the playoff picture for this year.
But this conversation is not over. Y'all guys can easily go ahead and continue this conversation right in the comments. What teams do you think would be the ones out? At least, like, you don't got to go division by division like we just did. But what team that you know for sure? And looking at the AFC side and the NFC side, like, yeah, I know for sure that team is not going to make it. Just comment that down below when you hit the like button. When you hit the like button, you can go ahead and comment that too. There you go. Keep it going. All right, so positive surprises.
Oh man, positive surprise how well things are going in Green Bay, and energy that Parsons brought to that team. I don't think and this is no shot against the Green Bay Packers, but anytime that you get a potential Hall of Fame, high caliber superstar player in Parsons, is just going to inject, the energy into the team, and that team is balling out. The defense looks super fast and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that team's for real.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with you with that one there. There was a big surprise. It would definitely be Green Bay and the resurgence of hope that's there. But here's the thing. The one thing that Green Bay always had an issue with, at least last year really showed his nasty head, was are they able to sustain a good season without injuries? And they already have like 2 or 3 of their starting wide receivers already out.
Right.
If not out, they're hurt. They're hurting already.
Listen, rewind back. Remember that team that I said will possibly be looking at moving somebody, whether it was the coach or Tyreek Hill. Can you
Ooh,
imagine if Tyreek Hill went to the Green Bay Packers? That is the team right now where, I know they got Jalen Reed, they're waiting for Watson. That's the weirdest thing that they paid Watson. But
yeah,
if somehow they could figure out how to get Tyreek Hill on that team right now, they already got you know, what Parsons brought to the defense, that would instantly make them a like a crazier team than they are because the tight end that they got, Kraft, he
yeah,
balling out too. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? So, and this is all, you got Brandon Jacobs that's on a 9 game in a row of scoring a touchdown. Like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
All the last 9 games he's had scored a touchdown. And Jordan Love is playing well, not turning over the ball, putting up great numbers. And for them to have that as a question mark, and if there's a receiver like Tyreek Hill available 4 to 5 weeks from now, like that team seriously needs to consider it. You
Yeah.
know,
The problem is that they gave up so much to get Parsons. They're
I
not
don't
going to.
think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna cost that much to get Tyreek Hill. Nowhere near that.
You don't think? You don't think a number one's going to be part of that trade at all? It's Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to see, man. I don't know because see, the thing is the contract, the way it's structured, and he's a little bit of a diva, so there is some risk that will drop down the asking price.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Parsons was considered a diva too.
No, no.
Of course, not like a wide receiver because wide
But
receiver.
you're talking about a very young defensive star that's basically Hall of Fame bound if he continues to play like this, over the next three contracts that he gets. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But I don't see them paying that much. Like they're gonna pay something, obviously, but I
Mhm.
don't think it's gonna be nowhere. I think it's gonna be obtainable for them to do.
All right. Well, we're going to see. And Drunk Monk with B said, "Sheesh." I'm sure He's talking about when you said that. Imagine Tariq Hill over there at Green Bay. Sheesh. I can only
Right.
imagine. Yeah,
No, I'm
that's
just saying because they do have two. Jaden Reed and Watson been out, and they
right.
paid them. But you know what I'm saying? They did. The way I see it is that would be that would me as an Eagles fan. That would be like, oh, like right now I'm like, yeah, they tough. We gonna see y'all, but we still
Mhm.
gonna bust that ass. That's how I feel
Right.
for any team in the NFC. You know what I mean? So like, but if they went out and made a move like that, now you like, oh, like that's something that's clearly a problem.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Especially how our secondary right now is acting up. Well, not even our secondary. Oh, one player.
Eh, but we
Adore.
knew this. We knew this.
We did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Anyway, we're trying to stay positive right now. All right, what you got another
Um,
you got another positive?
all right, the positive thing, the Eagles are 2-0.
Mm,
But the negative thing, listen, and it's going to bring me up to this week. I'm very, very concerned as an Eagles fan about this week.
okay.
This is a team that's been playing well before the preseason, before the season started. And this team's like a problem. And I had a very bad thought, and I hope it does not come true. But that San Fran game when they came in here with the black Air Force Ones after we beat them in the playoffs, and then we had to play them, and that's the vibe I'm getting right now. And the only reason I'm saying that is because our offense hasn't looked nowhere near the potential that we have the ability to.
Mhm.
The defense, surprisingly, was our biggest question mark heading into the season, and they've been playing pretty well given that issue that we have at cornerback. But this is a team that last week, with their new acquisition of Devontae Adams, like, listen, man, this team is going to be a problem for us this week. And I'm hoping that finally week 3, our offense kicks into gear and we could pull off the victory. But I'm very concerned about the Birds this week.
Yeah, see, I do understand where you're coming from, only because, once again, of our secondary, I'm just concerned with Adoree Jackson just being, barbecue chicken the whole entire
Puka or Adams.
Exactly.
Think about that.
Pick your
Think
poison.
about that.
Now,
because, he had his hands full with Dallas, like with CeeDee Lamb, obviously. But them guys, there's going to be a mismatch somewhere on the field, like, for that team. And then they got a pretty good running back. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a problem, man. And I don't really – I'm not – I don't know, man. I'm not feeling too good about this game this week.
And I understand the apprehensiveness of this game for you. I do. I'm just hoping that the secondary, or just the defense in general, will give – let's see. Here we go. I hope Fangio gives Stafford the respect that's necessary and blitz him like crazy, just like he did Mahomes. Because if there's any quarterback that's going to be a statue, it's going to be Stafford. He's a statue. And if you rush him, therefore, if he has plenty of time, he's going to chew up the secondary like crazy. But if you rush him, then I see him trying to get rid of the ball faster. So therefore, it gives the strength of our team, which is our D linemen and our linebackers, time to actually do what they have to do. And I'm hoping it's not going to be what you think.
I hope not, man. I'm hoping we have that offensive breakout game when needed. I hope the fans show up and the place will be rocking. I just think that team has a lot to prove. It was pretty close during the playoffs last year. The whole tush push thing, like it was a lot going on in that game. And that coach is a fiery coach, and he's not letting that team forget about that. That is going to be the motivating factor for them to come in here and steal the win. And I hope it doesn't happen, but the way our offense been playing, I'm like, bro, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. So if we see glimpses of the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles offense, I think we'll be okay. Because I really do believe, in all honesty, that game was close in the playoffs, only because of the elements. Only because of the elements. If it wasn't the elements, I think the game would have been – I don't think the game would have been that close. The elements actually did that. Now, mind you, I got to look at it from both point of views. If it wasn't for the elements, Saquon wouldn't have went off the way he did.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he did go off when he played them the first time for 200-some yards.
Right.
So maybe
we need something like that because
yep.
If their defense is good too. That's what I mean. Like that team is, like I said, just like I said with Green Bay, those are the 3 teams that I know. I don't want to say I know, but I feel very confident in saying that they're going to be one of those final 4 teams in the playoff bracket in the NFC East. NFC, sorry, not the East.
I got you. Now, I do see that happening. I'm happy that at least the Rams is in the division where they have to battle to get themselves out. So let those teams battle themselves like crazies to go ahead and hopefully bruise them up. So it'll be a little bit easier for us later. But yeah, the Rams team, we already knew that was going to be a problem, because that is a well put together team offensively. As soon as they got Adams, it was just like, oh, come on. That's almost like a cheat sheet. But I'm pretty sure they were saying the same thing about the Eagles when we got Saquon and we got A.J. Brown. And, so I get it. So we just need to see the best from both teams and what happens.
Right. We'll find out. That's for damn sure.
We'll see.
It's going to be fun.
But I tell you this for sure, as an Eagles fan, playing Dallas first game and playing KC the second game, most people would have been okay if the Eagles came out of last week being 1-1.
I don't think so, but
I think so. I do. I think
No,
so.
not me. Because to me, they were winnable games. That's why. This is one where I'm like, all right, this might be the reality check game. Like, yo, get back in line type thing.
Okay, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Now,
I hope not, but
I predicted that we was going to go 5-0. That's what I predicted, that we wasn't going to lose for a while. So I think we're going to. I don't want to say easily, but I think we want to go ahead and win this game. But we'll see.
I hope you're right, man. I
We'll
hope
see.
you're right.
We'll see.
But
We'll see.
my lenses, not the Eagles lenses, seeing the Rams how they've been playing, and then how Adams got involved last week, and the defense and all these motivating factors around it, it would be a very impressive win for damn sure. More than it would be a loss like is a bad loss or a devastating loss. But I think it would be more of an impressive win if they pulled it off, because that's definitely a playoff caliber team.
Drunk Must said, with the Rams game, we'll see where they're really at. I agree.
Yep.
I definitely agree with you, Drunk Monk, aka Brian. I definitely agree, and it's going to be definitely a really good test. And it's amazing. It's like almost every team that we had to go and play last year in the playoffs, we literally playing this year. So almost every single one of them has some kind of like get back at us, and we have to play every single one of them. It's crazy.
I mean, any team that's playing them is the Super Bowl champions. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, that whole to be the best, you gotta be the best, like that shit. Like, but it really do matter. You know what I mean? And that's the thing with the offense, where when it comes to the Eagles, I'm like, bro, like we had one offensive player from the line swap out. Everybody else either is an upgrade or we still with our main guys. So Goddard was hurt last week, but I don't think Goddard being there would have made us a better offensive team. To the point, bro, Jalen rushed under 25 and it was under 100 yards with the whole thing that he went back and forth. Like, he barely threw for 100 yards, and they still won the game. If I told you that,
Exactly.
If I told you them two stats,
right? And Saquon not rushed over 100 yards.
Yeah,
no one
it's just crazy. But that's why I'm like a little concerned about this week. But hopefully they get it together. They
it's
get it together, man.
Like this, as soon as we win, just so you guys know, it's going to be a fun intro next week. As soon as we get back on Wednesday of next week, if the Eagles pull this one off,
man, I'm gonna be fired up. That's for damn sure.
Joel said we wasn't going to do it.
I didn't say we wasn't. I said I got a bad feeling.
Okay.
Nah, bro.
Hey, go take
There's
some.
No way in hell I'm picking against them.
Okay, go take some neck off.
It's just cause for concern. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's it.
That's okay. I got some hauls at the Poppy store. I'll hook you up. If you feel bad, just go ahead and take the haul. You good? All right. Yeah, we kind of stayed on this Philadelphia Eagles game against the Rams a little too long, pause, than I thought we was going to. But is there another positive that you want to go ahead and drop in right now before we go ahead to the next segment?
Nah, I'm good with the positives. That was the few ones that I had. I mean, listen, well, we can go into this topic. Bud Crawford and Canelo fight. That was a positive. Due to the fact that, and Larry, you know this, a few people know, but I'm a huge boxing fan. Mm-hmm. And what that man was able to do and display the boxing, art of boxing, to beat one of the best. And I'm so mad at myself because I almost fell into the trap of going for Canelo.
You did.
Where
just like me.
I woke up Saturday, I texted you and Larry and a few people that I talked to about the fight, and I said, Crawford's winning this fight. And I was like, I'm going for Crawford. And I just, man, this guy was able to display the true art of boxing. You have some guys that are natural brawlers. You got natural guys that are fast, do all this type of things, and they have some type of competitive, like not competitive. They have a weapon. Whether they're fast, they're stronger, they got a heavy, a good left, good right, whatever it is, devastating power, whatever it is. And which has been typically the DNA of Canelo, where he's
Mhm.
constantly going to hound you, and eventually you're going to cave in, make a mistake, and do something. And what he was able to do, man, my hats off to Terrence Crawford. I've been a boxing fan of him for a while, but which in the ease of the manner of that he was able to secure the victory just by pure boxing ability and taking the whole, once I saw him get caught once a pretty good shot and take a pretty good shot from Canelo,
Mhm.
and that was the only concern that I had for him versus Canelo, like had looking bad the way he did with a boxer, which is the way to beat him. And I was like, Crawford has that capability of doing that. That's what made me swing all the way over. I had a whole conversation with Chill Will. I was like, bro, I don't know, bro. I just got something's telling me. I was like, I woke up in the morning. It wasn't no dream. It was just a feeling like, yo, Crawford's gonna pull this shit off, and he did.
Well, just so you know, on Instagram, Drunk Monk said it was a real old school style boxing match. Definitely agree. And he also said it wasn't about boxing, not it was about boxing, not the money, which is what he also said as well. Definitely agree with you as well. I mean, it was for the love of the sport. You can tell in that fight.
Well, that's the thing, man. Like, I really hope, like, anybody trying to be a boxer or is a boxer or anything like that really looks at the fundamentals of boxing and looks at this fight and says, like, bro, like, you really can. I don't want to say you could be anybody, but you really can. If you got if you have all those abilities to be an actual boxer and the professional that Crawford is, where he's been able to display, like, before his last fight, but well, these two fights. So now it's two fights, the Canelo fight and the one before. He had 11 straight knockouts. And this is something that I was talking to my son about. And I'm like, yo, Joe, like, this is what I feel like. Like, I just, like, I'm not, devaluing Canelo or anything like that. But, you know, normally when someone's boxing, their boxing careers, they got, the quote unquote padded stats, 20-0, 19 knockouts, 18 knockouts, then
Yeah.
they'll get another 5 fights, and then they'll have 21, but 25, 24 wins, whatever it is. But their wins will continue to grow, and then their knockout percentage continues to drop down.
Right. Right.
Terrence Bud Crawford, before this Canelo fight, one fight before, the last 11 opponents, which, whether you agree they were great opponents or not, each one was better than the last one, and he kept knocking them out, knocking them out, knocking them out, or
Mhm.
stopping them. And then the one fight that he moved up, he didn't knock that guy out, and then he fought Canelo. But he's been proven to just, this is someone that went to his corner when he fought Porter, and his corner said, yo, you're not up on the scorecard. Ding, ding, bell rings, round starts. First punch landed, knocks him out. He was like, oh, I'm for real, I'm down. So this is somebody that has that dog mentality, that has the capability of boxing you or being able to knock you out. He displayed it, but I mean, I hope just young fighters look at this and just say, like, bro, if I really focus on being a complete boxer, because he's a complete boxer. He's
Mhm.
not known as a very, a devastating knockout artist or anything like that. But he, exemplifies what a guy with the tools and the tool bag, being able to fight offensively, defensively, it don't matter. Take away that opponent's strength. Because, bro, he was the best part about the fight is going to sound corny. It wasn't even punching. It was how many punches that Canelo was throwing. And he already knew what he was going to do before he did it. He's already blocking and then immediately coming back with, a jab or how he was moving in the ring. It was just great, man.
Mm-hmm.
For someone that loves boxing, that was, if you love boxing and the art of boxing, not just because a lot of people nowadays want to see people go in there and take their heads, take each other's head off.
Yep.
Swing for the fences. They want to see that devastating knockout, that excitement. But when you got someone that comes through, and does what Crawford was able to do, because a lot of people were devastated that Canelo lost, and they just thought he was going to win easily and get caught, and moved up 2 weight classes, all this type of stuff. And for him to do what he did against the opponent that he did it to it was spectacular, bro.
Yeah, it was a work of art. It really was. I mean, especially like you said, if you're a fan of the sport, I mean, you couldn't help but to enjoy that. The only thing that was not enjoyable was the fact that the fight ended at 2:00.
That is completely that is the issue, bro. Like, I
Yeah,
love the boxing events, jam-packed events, all this stuff. It should have either been one fight shorter, or they needed to start this thing earlier on it, bro.
Mhm.
It was too long. Then they having all these little mini concerts in between. That was real negative.
yeah, absolutely. It was like 2:00. Like, we all got stuff to do, man. Like, people exhausted the next day. But it was a great fight. It was an absolutely great fight, and happy that we got a chance to witness it, because we didn't think that was going to happen. And look at that. It was a great fight. So there we go. We actually got that. And then, you think it's going to be a sequel?
I don't know, man. I
Good
mean,
question. All right.
listen, with Canelo, I don't think he wants that smoke. Not that he don't want the smoke. I just think deep down inside he knows, like, who's in front of him now. And I don't think, just like the Spence fight, nobody even ever talked about the Spence fight after Crawford, like, did what he did to him. You know what I mean? And it's like, I really don't even think, like, not that I think people obviously will watch it again. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But I don't think, like, what's the point? Like, to get revenge, I guess. But
Mhm.
I think, listen, Canelo would have won this fight. Crawford stock and what everybody thought about Crawford would have been, oh, we thought who he thought he was. You know what I mean? With Crawford winning, his clout definitely went up, but Canelo stock still right there because he's a
Right.
true warrior. Everybody just knows he fought the one opponent, across from him, and the technique and approach that the other fighter had was, it was just a bad matchup for him, and he lost, and he didn't lose any stock. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he has nothing to really prove, but just wondering if you thought that was going to be a sequel. Speaking of sequels, guess who won the NL East?
I think I have that on, and I had to bust out the one with the gold trimming with the 2
Yeah.
World Series stripes. This team is hot, man, and I hope it continues. But let there be no mistake. I don't want to minimize the importance of pitching in the playoffs, and that's something that's still a little bit of a question mark for me with this team. But listen, as long as these bats stay hot and they're heading into Red October, this team can do it.
What I love about this team is that they're not dependent on the top 4 hitters. The ones that's really putting out all the smoke right now is all the bottom of the lineup hitters.
Right.
You
And
know?
that's what I said previously, man. This team just needs to get hot. Like, bro, like, there's no team in baseball that has 1 through 9 all hitters. Like, bro, like,
Yeah.
everybody just need to contribute the way they can. Contact hitters, get on base, play small ball, and then once these guys like Schwarber and Harper, they need to do what they get paid to do and hit bombs, bro.
Mm-hmm.
To Trey Turner was hot. And dude, as long as they do that, we good. You know what I mean? But like, they're just gonna have to do it against great pitching.
Right.
The pitchers, the bullpen, everything, goes down very minimal because you got these days in between that you could get. You don't need all 5 starters. So now you're facing great pitching after great pitching.
Right.
It's not rare that top guy, if you face them twice in a series, that they're going to have two bad outings because they're great pitchers. They can make adjustments and come back and approach the lineup differently. So my thing right now, the question mark is our pitching, but more importantly, like I'm expecting at this moment this year is time is put up, shut up for the Phillies with the bats due to the fact that they went silent the last couple of years during the Red October. And these guys, look, they're bringing the team together. They're signing players that you wanted, Bryce Harper, that are on this team because of you, JT Realmuto, Trey Turner, all these guys that came over because of you. But now it's time. Hey, look, we had the pitching the last couple of years, but the bats weren't there. Now we don't have the pitching, or we have a question mark in the pitching, but these bats need to show up in October.
Absolutely. And one of the best things that they actually did this, throughout the season, and we looked at it was a small thing. Bader. Like, what a trade to get that man in here. Now, it's one that, we knew he was going to be reliable out there in the outfield because defensively he's always been that reliable outfielder. I wasn't expecting the offense.
No, definitely not, man. Great acquisition at the trade deadline, and I mean we wanted more of the pitching, but this is working out. Everything's working out lovely.
Absolutely, and of course Duran is the man, and I mean he got rocked the last time out, but with a home run. But you expect that from World Series winning Dodgers team with all this, all the hitters and everything on that team. But you're 100% right. I definitely agree with you when it comes to the Phillies and it comes to the big boppers that we have. The first game that we played, the Dodgers, kind of showed me exactly what I needed to see. The rest of the team was doing what they had to do. It was a battle, it was a fight. It was like, like the Dodgers went ahead and threw a hook. The Phillies went ahead and tried to dip it and went and threw a bat and do a nice little jab. It was like as soon as Mookie went ahead and scored that home run to tie the game, Bryce went out and hit a home run the very next inning. And for us to go ahead and take the lead, that's the type of dog that we need. We need to be able to have the rest of the team keep the score respectable, and then you have the Schwarber, you have hopefully Trey comes back, have the Harper that's going to go ahead and really give you those bats that you need. But I am curious. They didn't say Wheeler was out for the whole entire year. When is he expected back? Do you know?
No, he's out.
Is he officially out?
Yeah, he's out. Yeah, he's not coming back. We got to hang our hat on Nola, Ranger, Sanchez. Like, dude, these guys just like you said, as long as they're serviceable, on the mound, like this playoff run is going to be solely on the bats, bro. Like I don't even they owe it to us at this point. The last two seasons, the pitching was there, the bats weren't alive. Like, bro, like I'm just done. Like, and these are all the guys making the money. I mean, besides Wheeler, and Nola that just got paid. But like, bro, like this team is too talented with the bats for us not to make a deep run. And like, for me, we got to make it there, at least make it there. Winning it all, like that's going to be a whole other story. We'll see, what team and stuff like that we're playing against. But, like the Brewers are good. So we'll see what happens, man.
This message is a little late, but because it's my girl, we're going to make sure we show it. Lil Marion said, mad respect for Crawford. He gave Canelo back his belt. I mean, so out of respect.
He personally went back to what she mentioned is he personally went back and walked back all Canelo's belts and gave it to him. It was fire in front of his family, everything. Typically, like boxers do that anyway, like behind the scenes, but they usually send somebody from the camp to take it back to the other locker room. He made it a point to walk it himself, take it over there, and add a few words with Canelo, and acknowledge your family. It was like, it was dope.
Respect, mad respect. All right, and speaking of respect, the Phils, man. So we need y'all, man. Look, the last time the Eagles won the Super Bowl, the same exact year, the Phils made it to the World Series. We need that again. We need it again. And y'all guys are capable of doing it. So we're just going to go ahead and just say, I can't wait for it to happen. And it's going to be a party once again, except we're going to see red confetti, and it's going to be on purpose. Not Kansas City. Terrible colors. Sorry, Swifties. No, we're good. All right. That's about it, man. 1 hour in. We want to thank every single one of y'all for tuning in. Joel, thanks for being here with me tonight, bro. No, Tone, you wanted to be here too, but I know you're busy at work, but it's okay. Like I said before, man, we got your back. Any last words for the people?
No, thank you guys for tuning in for episode 102. Again, we encourage you guys to be part of the conversation. Log on, drop the messages, drop the DMs in the IG page, whatever it is. Tell us what you guys want us to talk about. Start the conversation. Listen, you already know what it is. Bird Gang checking out. Thank you, guys.
Hey, look, and we appreciate every single one of y'all, seriously. My Instagram family, love y'all. Y'all never disappoint. Salute right back to you, Drunk Monk. Bird Gang, says Lil Marion. What about Cap? No, what about Cap? Lil Marion. I mean, what's
That's because you wanted to try to talk about the Mets, bro. I can't believe you.
No, I
We'll
want to
talk about that after.
I want to talk about how bad that is for them, how good that is for us. Are you gonna come on?
You said it's a negative. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
It was a negative from the point of view of a Mets fan, but it's positive on the point of view of a Phillies fan. I don't see what the big problem is, bro. Like, go Phils, down Mets. But I just thought, like, man, that's bad, bro. Like they lost like 13 straight. Like, jeez. Like, now y'all not even trying no more. Like, my God. Hey, yo, remember, we wanted Soto, man. Remember, we wanted Soto. Soto, that money. It was like, yo, give him whatever he wants. Make him be a Philly. He can stay right there.
Money changes everything.
Man,
that was the one thing with him anyway. Like, he was chasing the money and leaving. He wasn't staying loyal to anybody. He was whatever, man.
Yeah,
It's the positive. It's the positive. I don't care what you say.
And you know what? And just in case, I went on that rant on purpose to see if Lil Marion was going to go ahead and say anything back. Nothing. What happened? What happened? I thought we had something special.
She's still holding the fact that you thought her sister was her at the Mets when you was talking to her. You're like, you don't even know who I am, Larry. I'm not sending you no message.
Like, let bygones be bygones. What's okay, we're gonna leave this thing alone. All right. We appreciate every single one of y'all. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hey, without y'all, this channel will not grow. So we really appreciate everything y'all guys do. We appreciate all the enthusiasm y'all give us outside of just what you see here on air when we actually see people in person. We really appreciate y'all. Until next time, God bless you all. We out.